One of the most iconic stories from the tales of King Arthur is that of a young Arthur single-handedly pulling a sword out of a stone. It was a feat that revealed him to be the one true king of Britain. But there's another sword in the Arthur legend that is no less compelling.
There are two swords in the Arthur story. One comes out of that stone, and later he gets his sword as a gift from the Lady of the Lake. This is the goddess of the lake, and her arm comes up out of the water holding a sword. And that is Excalibur, a sword beyond other swords.
Excalibur, we are told, had a golden hilt and had magical powers. It's a sword that's supposed to make Arthur invincible.
Arthur's story is the hero's journey because it is the magic and the sacred and all the mystical dimensions. In the hero's journey, the protagonist gains a special tool or weapon. This is the magical thing. It will be just the thing you needed, although you might not know it at the time. And then the moment will arise and you see exactly why you have it.
According to legend, King Arthur used Excalibur to win many battles and unite Britain under his leadership. But, alas, Arthur finally died on the battlefield when he was mortally wounded by his son, Mordred.
As King Arthur lies dying on the field of battle, he asks that his sword, Excalibur, the source of all his power, be taken by a knight and thrown into a nearby lake. When this happens, the hand of the Lady of the Lake breaks through the surface of the water, grabs hold of the sword, and takes it down into the crystal depths to keep it until some future king may need it when Britain is again threatened.
Many scholars believe that magic is an important part of what makes the King Arthur story so powerful. And curiously, the supernatural elements of Excalibur may not have been merely a fantasy.
The story of Excalibur may seem one of the medieval additions, if you like, to the tale of King Arthur that sounds the least likely. But in fact, the story of Excalibur and the knight throwing it to the Lady of the Lake could be based on historical events. The Celtic warriors of the time Arthur existed had a tradition that their soul, if you like, was in their sword. And at their funerals, their swords were often thrown into a sacred lake or pool as an offering to a water goddess. And in fact, archaeology has discovered many ancient swords that had been thrown into lakes that have since dried up. So the story of the Lady of the Lake, this strange nymph-like woman that takes the sword, could have originated with the tradition of casting a warrior's sword as an offering to a water goddess.